Back on the SportsMax zone, and the penultimate round of the English Premier League concluded today with 3 matches. In one game, relegation threatened Everton knew that a win at home to Crystal Palace would secure their status as a top-flight side. Here are the highlights.
Well, away we go. The same scenario for Everton as last weekend. Win, and they're safe. In it goes from Eze. Oh, Mateta, free header! The Eagles inflict another talent.
Middle of the goal. It's a brilliant ball in from Eze. Everton dropped deep, but suddenly Eze seemingly marked by Mikalenko.
Mateta, Pickford backpedaling. Still Mateta, support is coming. Ayu's in there, Pickford had a go at it. Zaha, Pickford's not there, and Ayu forces it over. It's getting worse and worse for Everton.
Everton, that's their 11th mistake. That's led to a goal this season. Seamus Coleman losing the ball on the halfway line, and from there, Everton actually have enough men back. They've got 5 men. And then there's a mix-up between Pickford and Mikalenko.
Mikalenko, forward, won by Holger, brilliantly done by Keane. Oh, they needed that.
You can hear the atmosphere in this stadium. It's very simple. Just a long ball to the back. They isolate Mitchell and Holgate at that back post.
Good footwork from Gray. Coleman. And still finds Dele Alli. Richarlison. Fights away through. Everton erupts.
All important thing is it made its way into the back of the goal. With brilliant play from Damari Gray initially, taking 3 Crystal Palace players on, finding Coleman, who more of a hopeful ball to the back post. And Dele Alli's the same, brings it down well, and then
Drawing at the moment. Gray sends it in, brilliant ball! Dominic Calvert-Lewin!
Now let's get back to the goal. It's a brilliant delivery. I've spoken about Everton lacking real quality, and when they have put quality in there, they've attacked it so well.
The escape is complete. Everton's proud top-flight run is prolonged. The Toffees remain in the top flight.
What a comeback from Everton, of course, ensuring that the 68 years that they've been in top-flight football continues. George and Lance, we know how important this game was, and Everton had to come back from 2 goals down in order to fight, literally fight, to ensure that they stayed in Premier League football.
Yeah, it was a tremendous turnaround. You couldn't have scripted it any better. The Gladys Street, well, the entire ground at Goodison Park, the entire ground was rocking. Emotional scenes at the end, and why not? It looked for a spell this season as if Everton's status as one of those teams never to have been relegated from the English Premier League was in danger. They would be the laughing stock of the city of Liverpool, because their illustrious neighbours on the red half of Liverpool would have been singing about their demise even when they weren't in the Premier League next season if that happened to them. So a lot was riding on it, and I'm very happy to see the group of players dig deep under Frank Lampard to get the result that keeps them as a top-flight team.
Lance, as soon as the match was over, on Twitter, on the Everton page, they said, "In Frank we trust." Frank Lampard helping them stay up.
In Frank we trust. Well, he's not exactly covered himself in glory as a manager, but I think he's a likeable person. He's a likeable person, Frankie Lampard, and spare a thought for the emotions that he'll be going through at the moment, because he apparently has a lot to learn as a coach and a manager of a Premier League team. But a lot of people like Frankie Lampard, so I think on this day there would be a lot of satisfaction from the neutrals that Frankie Lampard was able to pull this one off for Everton.
Yeah, George, Crystal Palace obviously leading in the first half. Dominant, I have to say, if we were to describe their performance, and then just letting it slip, or letting Everton just walk into there, take it.
Well, the thing is this, and I spoke about this last week, it's motivation. What are the Crystal Palace boys playing for? nothing. They can't qualify for Europe. They're not in trouble of being relegated. One place higher in the Premier League table won't mean a windfall for the club in terms of revenue from Premier League places. So that extra 3% or 7% or 5%, they didn't have it because they didn't need it. The Everton boys, though, by contrast, had to have that extra to push them on to get the result that was needed. As we look at Bill Kenwright, the guy on the right of the screen, the old guy with the white hair, very good for him, the long-serving Everton chairman. May I quickly say, Lance and Mariah, what this result proves today about Everton and the fact that they came so close to relegation is this. People like to establish truths in life, absolute truths, to say, if you spend money, you will be successful. If you have a shoestring budget, you won't be successful. Football makes a lie of all that because there are clubs who spend no money and season after season after season, they cling on to their status as a top-flight football team. Evidence Burnley, although that is in jeopardy this year. And then Everton, by contrast, they spent almost £500,000 on players since Fahid Bashiri came into the club. And that proves that spending money and recruiting the best managers, Ronald Koeman has coached them, Carlo Ancelotti has coached them, and now Frankie Lampard, spending money on players and spending money on managers doesn't guarantee success. It doesn't guarantee Premier League survival either. So there are no absolute truths where competitive sport is concerned. It's just about the hand that you are dealt and how you play that hand.
Most definitely. Well, in another game, Chelsea travelled to Leicester City, needing only a point to secure third place in the league. Do we have those highlights?
Beautiful evening. The final 4 days of the Premier League season. That's something he'll want to rectify next season. Too many drop points here at Stamford Bridge. That's run all the way through for Leicester. Maddison picks it up. Maddison! With a glorious goal for Leicester City. Their first attack of the game.
Nothing about that. Super technician James Maddison is giving far too much time. No idea what Marcos Alonso is doing. Even if he feels that Rudy can get to that ball, he's got to be surely making a much more determined effort to get back and help out his team.
James. Alonso! What a terrific strike that was.
Well, about the first real error that Leicester City made in the middle of that park. Dewsbury Hall, he lunges for that interception. He doesn't quite make it. And Reece James got an opportunity. I thought he was actually thinking about a shot, but Amati comes close enough to deny that opportunity. What about the pass?
That might be the final chance gone. And that's a foul by one Spaniard on another. Alonso on Perez. And that is that. 19 shots his side had, but only one of them went in. And you can see the disappointment etched all over the face of Thomas Tuchel as more points at home slip away.
With that win, with that draw, Chelsea now on 71 points. They would have been, and it's so easy for me to say win, just because I would have expected Chelsea to walk away with all 3 points to end this match. But they had to share it, George.
Yeah, the thing is this, it's been a disappointing end to the season for Chelsea. It's been the proverbial damn squib, because people don't really burst squibs anymore these days. But yeah, the season promised a lot. Think of Chelsea 3 months into the campaign, up to Christmas. The possibilities were endless about what they could do. They're on 71 points, 3 more than Spurs, but the goal difference is much more healthy compared to, it's a plus 18. They have a plus 18 swing on Spurs in the goal difference stake, so they will finish third, even though Spurs can finish level with them on 71 points if they win their last game, Spurs and Chelsea lose. But look, they've played 62 games this season because they started very early, with the Super Cup having been European champions last year. So they started the Super Cup, they went to the Club World Cup. So it's been a long slug, but it's been disappointing the way the competition, the season lands, Mariah, has fizzled out, and the way Tuchel managed to fall out with his top scorer, his record signing rather, because his record signing couldn't keep his mouth shut, Lukaku.
And when I think about teams that usually fall off the radar, like Chelsea did this season, it's because of injuries. But you know, off the top of my head, I can't really call out any names that were massively injured that affected the team.
Well, yes, because Ben Chilwell was missing their left back. He'd be their first choice left back. And Reece James, their outstanding right back, arguably, for me, the best right back, well, behind Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course. He was missing for a large chunk of the season. But Mariah, the point that I want to support you in making is that Chelsea's squad is so huge.
Right.
Chelsea can afford to have a 90-odd million pound man sitting on the bench week in, week out looking serious.
And that's where I was
so they have the squad to do it.
The Abramovich factor, though, I think affected them in some way toward the back end of the season.
No, but the season was already going down by that time.
That's it, yeah. And
it was going down by that time, I would say.
So how would you differentiate going down from going through a bad patch?
Yeah, because
it has been sustained.
No,
they've just won one of their last 6 matches at Chelsea.
But here's how I'd say
that's a poor way to end the season.
Here's how I'd say it quickly.
Yeah.
Lukaku fell out with the coach and the squad. That fractured the dressing room.
Yes.
That disrupted the dressing room and disrupted the flow. He lost his starting left back Ben Chilwell. He lost his starting right back Reece James. Reece James is to Chelsea what Trent Alexander-Arnold is to Liverpool. He is their main assist provider from wide because he's marauding up front along the wing all the time. And then your top scorer Kai Havertz. Somehow, when was the last time we spoke about Kai Havertz? Kai Havertz forgot how to score.
Yeah.
Timo Werner was Timo Werner, running up and down and not scoring.
With the first point, the Lukaku point.
And that's the point I'm making. So by the time the Abramovich Waterloo came, things were already on the downturn.
Yeah, but that just probably added because now you don't have enough money, you don't know where things will end up. So just tough times for Chelsea. I hope they use the break to strengthen up.
What about the lower end of the table?
All right, let's see.
What happened?
Leeds are
don't
going
find
down.
themselves there.
Yeah, I want them to go down. They're Manchester United's big rivals. We don't like Leeds, and Simon Evans supports Burnley. I can't wish bad on Burnley, so I want Burnley to stay, and I want Leeds to be relegated. I said it.
Watford Norwich already confirmed out.
Yeah. All right.
So pick a side. Who do you want to go, Leeds or Burnley?
Well, you said Simon likes Burnley, and
no,
I like
that's
Simon,
his team. That's his community team.
Just,
we have to work with Burnley.
Yeah, let's work with Burnley.
For Simon's sake.
Yeah. Simon says.
Thank you for watching SportsMax on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay informed.